Hello everyone, I know the title is "What the hell is going on?" I'm exchanging this Volkswagen ID.7 Pro for a Volkswagen ID.Buzz. What's going on? If your company has electric cars as company cars, of course you want your employee to charge at home. It's cheaper for you and it's easier for the employee. Tronity has a software solution for you to know how much you have to pay your employee for charging at home. With the Fleet Manager you manage your employees and your cars. Tronity connects to the cars and knows exactly when the car is charging at home and how much. And then you get an easy monthly bill for your employee. If you want to know more, there's a link in the description below. To explain, I have to start extremely early. In 2020, September, I got a Volkswagen ID.3 First Edition Plus. I leased it for 3 years. And after 2.5 years, I thought about what would be my next car. And I thought it should be this, the Volkswagen ID.7 Pro. It was a new era of Volkswagen. It was a new, comfortable, nice car with a lot of features that I liked. So it was good for me and good for the channel. Because it's my income. I'm 100% full-time YouTube content creator. So this plays a big role in my decision for a next car. But it wasn't sure exactly so when the ID.7 Pro will come out. And so I went to my dealer where I leased the car many months before, 6 months before or so, and I said, so what if I want to extend the lease? How does this work? And he said, it's no problem. You just pay the same amount that you pay now every month. You just do it as long as you want. Doesn't matter. Of course, for you, that's negative because you pay more than if you would have leased the car longer. The payment every month would have been less. So Volkswagen Leasing is making more money. You can continue as long as you want. And then 2 months before or so, I said, okay, I want to do this. And I extended the lease 3 months and 10 days or so, but I didn't know when the ID.7 Pro would be ready for delivery. It could have been 6 months as well, and it would have been no problem. So then I got this ID.7 Pro. I leased it for 2 years. Because I thought the 3 years was a bit too long. After 2 years, I want to see what other car is available, what would be my next car and so. And a year ago, I already looked at the Volkswagen ID.2, which is now called the ID Polo. And back in the day, it was expected to come in the winter of 25 to 26. And I thought, ooh, that's good because this lease on this car ends on 13th of December 2025. And then just a few months later, the ID Polo should come. But then over the year, this year, it was more and more known that the car will be later and later and later. And now the estimate is it will come in September, October of 2026. So that's 10 months later than what I had this car. So again, 6 months ago, I asked the dealer, how is it if I extend this lease? He said, will be no problem, all is cool. And then 6 weeks ago, I said, okay, I want to do this. And then I got an email from Volkswagen Leasing saying, sorry, we don't do this anymore. You can not extend your lease by this much. You can do a maximum of 3 months and that's it. And I was, what? What do I do with a car now? I need a car. I want the ID Polo, but it's coming in September, October. I can have this maximum till the middle of March. What do I do? And so the searching began. What do I do? Do I lease a different car for a year? Do I do auto abo, a car abo? So you just get a car for a few months, all the payments, insurance and everything you do. So very, very, very easy. And Volkswagen doesn't have that anymore. I looked at Kia. Kia had that at one point. Kia Flex, I think what it's called, also doesn't have that anymore. And I looked at other companies that still do that, but it was a bit expensive. So I thought, what if I get Volkswagen ID.7 Pro, so middle battery. I had the car, I liked the car for a year or so. I went to the dealer, hey, about a year, He said, sorry, normal cars from Volkswagen, leasing minimum is 2 years. 1 year doesn't exist anymore. And I said, oh God, what do I do with an ID.3 for 2 years when in 10 months the ID Polo is coming, which I will be leasing for 2 years. So that doesn't make any sense. And so I looked, like I said, at other things. There are other companies that do that, and you can rent or whatever you want to call it for 6 months. And I looked at the price, and it's for a tiny little car like a Renault Twingo, it's okay, still with a lot of extra fees because it's only for 6 months. You don't do it for a year. If you want an extra driver, if insurance, what you pay if there's a problem, deductible, is that word? If you want that not at 2,000 euros, if you want it lower, it costs a fortune every month, and delivery cost, and then when you get the car it costs something, then cleaning at the end costs something, and it was really expensive even for a tiny car. And if I choose an ID.3 Pro, so a car where I would say I could drive a long distance if I had to at some point, it was extremely expensive. And by the way, you might say, hey, you have press cars all the time, what do you need a car for? And it's true, I have a lot of press cars. Usually I try to have my whole year full with press cars, but there's always some weeks here and there where I don't have a car and things can happen. So I had it already. It's usually once a year where a few days before a car arrives, a press car, I get an email. We're very sorry, but the car was in an accident. We cannot deliver you the car. We have to make another appointment for another time, but right now we don't have a car for you. And then for 2 weeks I don't have any car. And we need a car. My wife has to get to work. I have to drive around or something. It's just not possible these days. So I need a car. And like I said, ID.3 was really expensive. And then my dealer called me and said, hey, I looked into it, and Volkswagen commercial cars still do leasing for just 12 months, not 24. And I have an extremely good offer on a Volkswagen ID.Buzz. It has the standard color. It's a short wheelbase with the normal battery. I had a few options, but not everything. Look at the offer, and I looked at the offer, and it's really good. I was surprised. I thought ID.Buzz would be extremely expensive. It looked really good. And then I thought, if I do that right now, when will the car be delivered? And he said February or March. And I said, so I extend this for 3 months, and then I have an ID.Buzz for a year. So in the most worst case, I have the ID.Buzz and the ID Polo for October, November, December, January, March, and February. The other way around. I can't even do that. So for 6 months, I have 2 cars that I pay at the same time. That's not great. But I calculated how much the ID.Buzz for 12 months is, and how much an ID.3 Pro, like I said before, is for 6 months if I rent it. And it's almost the same price. The Buzz is just a tiny bit more expensive, a few hundred euros. And if the Polo is a bit late, a month or 2, then I need a different car, and then I pay more and I have the stress. So I have decided I'm getting a Volkswagen ID.Buzz. It's already ordered. I don't have the contract yet, but they already for leasing, I have to send in that I can afford it and all the stuff. And yes, and I can make a few videos about it too, which is great. I never had the normal Volkswagen ID.Buzz with the new battery, 79 kilowatt hour battery, rear wheel drive 210 kilowatt, with the new interior and everything. Like I said, in the standard color, silver. But it has a few options. It has the door open and close package, where the rear doors open with a button, so electrically. It has head-up display, travel assist, comfort package, not the panoramic roof, no tow hook, but a heat pump. The first car I will get with a heat pump. All my cars so far didn't have a heat pump because this car, when I ordered it, it wasn't available yet. It wasn't available at the time, the heat pump, and so I had to get it without. I want it early. So this is happening. I'm going from the most comfortable, most efficient electric Volkswagen to almost the least efficient. So yes, that's gonna happen because again, it's almost the same price as if I would rent it, and I looked at a lot of places and it's just easy, and it's when stuff happens, I'm still fine. My wife is not so excited. She drove the long wheelbase Id.Buzz twice to work, and she says it's a gigantic car and it's very hard to get in and out for her because she's so tiny. But I drove it now for a while. Of course, it's not my favorite car and it wouldn't be my dream car, but it's more about practicality right now if we have to go on a long distance trip, and money, and like I said, easy and relaxing, that it's not stressful if the Polo is really delayed or I don't know, something else happens. So this is what's gonna happen. How cool is that? If you want to follow me on Instagram, BatteryLife1, and if you want to support the channel here on YouTube, there's channel membership. And if you want to know what's happening behind the scenes, I have a third YouTube channel, Behind the Battery. But that's it for me. Thank you much for watching. Have a great day and take care. Bye.